Hello there everyone, it's Leo the Lefty, welcome. Today I was sitting here on my half day after work trying to decide if I wanted to record anything or not, and I didn't really feel like recording a case, so I thought I'd do just another quick how-to video. And I was trying to decide what to draw for you and show you how I draw it, and I just decided um, to draw like a little mushroom village. So that's what I'm going to do, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get going. I'm using my Uniball pen here. I always hold it backwards, but I love these things. They don't smudge as bad for left-handers like me, and they're very, very waterproof and all that. I mean, I'm not going to get this paper wet, hopefully, but some of my older stuff I didn't intend on getting wet either, and then the roof caved in on my art studio and got a bunch of stuff wet, but the pen was still there. All the color was washed out, but the pen was still there. So that's why I love these. Normally, when I start a drawing, I do it in pencil. I just feel like pencil is going to be really hard to see on camera, so I'm going to do a pen, and if I make mistakes, we're just going to deal with it. And I will be making some mistakes because that's how I roll. So, think about if you want to draw like a mushroom village, all the different kinds of mushrooms. If you want to pop onto Google Images and get some inspiration and things like that, I highly recommend it. For my village, we're going to start with, the classic sort of shape here. And that's how we're going to start. Pretty plain looking. And we'll bring the stem down. Now, for some of these, I like to make it a little interesting. Instead of just doing a straight stem, I'll give it a little tuft here. I don't know anything about like the anatomy of a mushroom other than the cap and the stem, so I don't know what that's called. I'm going to call it a tuft, but I see them on plenty of mushrooms. We'll do the underside, a little bit of umbrellaing there. You're going to want to start from the stem out with the lines. And to make it look like it's kind of wrinkled on its edge here, I'm going to do these lines in, and then bring it down here. So, when you're drawing a little mushroom village, you don't have to do just one kind of mushroom. To make it a little interesting, I'll show you what I mean. I'll go with these guys up here. There we go. Give him a little bit of a undercap there. Some shading, some dots. Give it some texture, and we'll give this guy some splotches to make it a little more interesting. Mushrooms are super easy to draw. They're really just sort of blobby shapes that you can kind of form and fit into whatever you want. There's so many different kinds of mushrooms. It's really easy to make them. I love them because they're interesting and whimsical and kind of alien with their spores and stuff. So I really love mushrooms. I love the art from the 70s with the mushrooms, because mushrooms were on everything back then. So I love finding like vintage pieces like that at garage sales, Goodwill, whatever. So see, that makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it? And I won't color this because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long. But the cool thing about mushrooms, especially if whether you're going for realistic or fantasy, you can kind of use a color spectrum all your own, because there are so many different types that grow out there, that there are different shapes and sizes and colors and everything like that. They're just pretty cool. So we'll give this one more little shroom buddy over here, and then we'll draw another one. We're going to go for a round cap on this one just because I'm trying to show you all a variety. Normally, when I'm drawing them, I would kind of make a standard and then add little ones in, but I'm just trying to show everybody the different ways to draw them. And you can kind of see here. There we go. We'll make this like a little skull shroom. How about that? I like the idea of skull shrooms. Whoa. Yeah, see? And we'll give it some little, there we go. And we can have little caps growing off here. Give it a little personality. If you wanted to do like a cluster of them, you can draw, kind of make sure that you give yourself enough space. Draw a few, give them the caps. And then just to make things interesting, you can throw some spores out there. You may want to intermix some plants. Now you may want to draw a specific kind, or like if for something like this, I'll usually just kind of let my hand draw whatever it wants to draw. So just to make it look interesting and different. And sometimes it looks a little rough in pen, and then once you go back and put color into it, it looks pretty cool. And you can go with color themes or you know, realistic or neon or whatever. Whether you're doing it for a specific project or just for fun. I have drawn Minnie, a mushroom, and Mushroom Village just for fun. I will sometimes draw while I'm just watching TV and see what comes out of my brain, and usually it's something pretty weird, which I enjoy. Let's draw a little more standard mushroom here. Then you got these fellas here, and you can do circles. I just kind of randomly will go around with the like dots and circles and stuff so that it doesn't look too uniform. And for side shading, we can do some line shading here instead of, you can do, excuse me, vertical lines or horizontal lines for shading. On this kind, I like to kind of do the vertical, you know. That way I can really make it stand out. There, see? And every little line you put gives it a little more personality. Every little color you use, every little detail. You can go from being extremely detailed to just kind of general. So I always start out trying to be kind of general and then end up going into pretty neurotic detail because that's how I roll. Alright, we're going to give that one. We'll make this just behind here. So now we want to make like a little house, village looking thing, right? So we're going to put a window in here and maybe another one here. And if I were to color this, I would go back and color all of the windows gold to make it look like there was light inside. I suppose you could use silver too, whatever, but it really helps make it pop. And so we're going to put a few more windows in up here. Why not? And you can do whatever style you want. Maybe you want more of that instead of this, the 4-cross or whatever. Maybe you want a square window. Well, let's see how a square window would look. Looks fine. Let's do a little chimney off the side here. I would put more effort into that smoke if I was actually trying to make this specific solid piece, but I'm just kind of winging it to show you guys different things you can do. Like, for instance, let's put a balcony up here. I'm not that great with perspective, you guys. There are a lot of other better artists out there that are pretty good with perspective and making things a little more realistic and pop off the page. I'm very general and just sort of freehand everything. I'm not as worried about you know, everything being perfect and uniform and all that, so I may not be the artist for everyone, but I do try. Well, I don't try to be the artist for everyone. I try to make people happy. There. See, there's a little dumpy little balcony. We can put a little birdie here. Maybe let's do, sorry, I'm trying to figure out in the camera angle what's the best angle here. Y'all want a little gnome fella? Gnomes are pretty easy to draw. Hopefully y'all can see him. Little gnome dude. And it, you know, a lot of this stuff would show up better once everything is colored in and it's easier to see and everything, because sometimes black and white kind of blends in and all that. But let's do a big old side mushroom here, and we will whoosh, whoosh. Make sure to get that umbrella-ing out. Umbrella-ing, I'm sorry, sometimes I just can't even talk. Let's do some steps here and make it look like this walks up to a door here on the side. And there, you can kind of tell it's a door. And we'll do the edge of a window here, so that you can tell that this is a house. We can even do the edge of a window here too. Maybe a little hard to tell, but it's the details, you know, the details. Let's do an open window up here with shade, or the shutters open. Whew. See, that's where I would mess up, erase that, and then fix the doors. But you know what? It's in pen, so it's there. We're going to make it work. Let's give it a little windowsill there. And we'll put a cat in the window. How about that? A little mini mushroom cat. See the kitty kitty? Yeah. And, you know, I would absolutely go through and put the same little splotches over here, or maybe something else, some other design. I'm being very general right now. I've used stars and hearts and everything to decorate and fill in the little spots on mushrooms just for fun, and stripes and everything, and depending on what I'm working on for a project. But this time I'm just gonna go through and put them around. See, there we go. Alright, so there's kind of a little mushroom village. You could go through in the background and kind of put in more mushrooms if you wanted. Let's do once you get a few bigger pieces that I started out with on here, then you can really go back in and you know, add more to it to make it look a little more interesting and everything like that. And you can even make these double caps, why not? And maybe we want some larger ones coming off of here. Just pay attention to your lines and make sure that if you want something to go, you know, behind something like this did, I didn't draw straight through that. I went around it so that it makes it look like this mushroom is in front and everything. That's the one thing I can say about perspective is, you know, sometimes you can, if you're thinking about it ahead of time, you can make it look the way you want. And sometimes you zone out and end up drawing something that looks totally off. And sometimes that's an awesome mistake, and sometimes it's a mistake that has to be erased. Cool thing about art is even if you mess up, it's still art, you know. That's what I love, is because I'm not that great of an artist, but I can draw a lot of more interesting stuff just because I kind of let myself do whatever my hand wants to do. Sometimes I have something specific in mind and sometimes I don't. See, like that, I didn't even plan on doing that ahead of time. It just started happening and I liked it. And we'll do it again on this one. Giving them like little eyelash extensions, isn't that cute? Oh, how sweet. And these can have some windows in them. There. See, and we got ourselves a little village here. We can put a cool window in this one. And if I was going to be super detailed on this, I would draw things going on inside. Like, I would probably make this one look like a little, like, wizard's lair or laboratory or something. I'm not going to go into all that detail on this, but I would be drawing stuff going on the inside that you could see and everything. And we can give everything not every single one of them, but a few of them, some chimneys, just to really emphasize that somebody lives there. Let's see here. And I like it when they kind of jut off to the side instead of having to go straight up. But if you wanted to, you could draw a chimney going straight up. See? And we went from a completely blank piece of paper to a little mushroom village, and I don't know, I can't even tell how long it's been that I've been recording. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 4 days, who knows? Nobody knows. It's a secret. We can put some birds in the sky. This is something like, and it doesn't have to be a mushroom village, it can be anything, but if you're a writer and you're world building and you're having trouble like describing what you want your world to look like, sketch it out. I mean, you don't have to be an awesome artist. You can use just like shapes, squares and circles, and then label it like a map. But then you might get more into it and everything, and just, you know, keep at it. Like, build to it, and then as you have it visualized in front of you, it will be easier to describe in your writing. I did this for, I'm still working on this book. I've never published anything, and I may never publish anything, but the book that I'm currently working on is a grimdark fantasy, and I've got a lot of maps that I drew, and I basically built the world before I started writing, and that really helped in my writing to describe the locations of things, the distance of certain things from other stuff and all that, and it helped describe the different regions my characters are in, like, you know, a wooded region, a mountainous region, things like that, because I already had it written on the map, and I had place names and everything. And you know, occasionally sometimes you have to make adjustments to your maps or drawings to suit your writing, but that's a lot easier than just kind of trying to keep track of everything in your head. So anyway, well, we'll do my signature for that down here. Sometimes you'll see LTL, Leo the Lefty. If you ever see BS on something that I've drawn, like, let me grab one of my other things I drew here. So I drew this a few years ago. It's just the closest thing to me right now, but I have BS there. That is because I write under another pen name called The Bastard Sinner, and I do a lot of art and stories under that pen name. I have a few, and I chose Leo the Lefty for YouTube because, I don't know, that's what I chose. But sometimes you'll see Bastard Sinner or Leo the Lefty. But anyway, thank you for coming to my rambling how-to on how to make a mushroom village. And I don't know if I'll ever color this, maybe some other day. But hope you guys enjoy. You can have your kiddos draw something like that to keep them busy, or you might do it yourself, or you might not. Maybe you just wanted somebody to ramble and talk to you while they drew a picture. Either way, I'm here for you. Hopefully y'all like that, and if you did, push the like button. If you have any comments, you want to tell me you liked it or you hated it, leave a comment for me in the comments section. I'd be happy to chat with anybody about it. And if you liked what you see, keep coming back for more. Push the subscribe button, that way you don't miss any new episodes. My life is getting a little more back to normal now, so I'm hoping to do like at least one full episode and then a shorter video every week. I may not be able to do that, but for right now, everything seems good. And later this month, I'm going to be starting a second channel called Leo the Lurker, and that's where I'm going to read and react to like Reddit stories and other online disaster stories that, you know, we all love to dive into and watch unfold in front of us. And that is at my second channel, Leo the Lurker 13, and I'll leave down in the description, I'll leave my username for that second channel, so if y'all want to subscribe there. Like I said, that'll be starting later this month. I've ordered a few things for that channel. I'm not going to be doing any art because I'll be reading directly from the screen, so I won't be able to draw and read to you at the same time. So I'm going to be setting up for each episode a different crazy background with different crazy props for y'all to look at while I read these Reddit stories to you. If that sounds like something you'll enjoy, check it out. Thanks everybody, and can't wait to see you next time. Bye!